Thank you very much, Toastmaster Johnny, soon to be DTM. Fellow Toastmasters, good evening. And are you ready to crunch those numbers? Well, that's what we say in accounting. Basically, I'm here to teach you how to crunch your numbers. It can be from a club's perspective, which I think I'm mainly going to use this evening, but it can be for your personal business as well. Maybe you may be doing things manually, but you want to computerize your system or your business financial data so you can know if you are making a profit or a loss. Or it may be for the mere fact that you want to track your customers, you want to track your sales. And so you need a system that can easily get this done as 1, 2, 3. So this evening, I am going to be teaching you how to enter your sales or your income in QuickBooks accounting software. And QuickBooks accounting software is primarily the #1 accounting software in the world where you can enter your accounting information. There are so many different areas of QuickBooks, but this evening, our main focus is going to be where sales are concerned. We are going to be entering sales, or another word for sales, income. Non-profit organizations like Toastmasters, we do not really use the word sales. We use the word income. Sometimes you would hear people ask for your income and expenditure statement. From a private business perspective, that same report or document would be considered your profit and loss statement. But from non-profit organization, it is called the income and expenditure statement. We are not going to be engaging expenditure, but we are going to be engaging income. And more so, I am going to teach you how to enter your Toastmasters members into the system so that you can track their membership fees. You know, some Toastmasters, they pay monthly, some pay semi-annually, some pay annually. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to track those membership fees. And some Toastmasters, we allow them to make credit payments. They may pay, all of their fee is $90 per year. They may pay this on a monthly basis. So I'll be teaching you how to apply payments and how to track these fees and to monitor these customer balances or these members balances so that you can give full accountability and transparency where your accounting information is concerned. But first, before I do all of that, it is important that we set up a company file, or we set up a file with the name of your organization, the name of your business. And as I said today, we are going to be focusing more on setting up a company file for a Toastmasters club. Now, after you press the app on your desktop, you are going to get to this interface, which for the very first time is going to ask you to create a company or create a business file or to create a Toastmasters club file. And we are going to click on this icon that says create a new company file so that we can create a new Toastmasters club account. Okay, then basically it is going to ask you, who are you creating this company file for? If you have a QuickBooks account login information, then we'll say for myself. But if not, we're going to say for someone else. So it is going to not ask us all the detailed information that it would ask if you were doing it as an admin for yourself. So we're going to select this one, for someone else. We are setting up a company file for someone else. And then we are going to say start setup. So it gives us the ability to set up a QuickBooks company file for our Toastmasters club. So let's start here. Toastmaster Johnny, Give us the name. It says business name, but give us the name of a Toastmasters club that we can use.
Platinum Artistic Toastmasters Club.
Platinum.
N-U-M.
Yeah.
Artistic. A-R-T-I-S-T-I-C.
T-I-C. Artistic. Yeah.
Toastmasters Club.
Masters Club. Great. And we're going to say, then it is going to ask you for industry. Okay. And it gives you a number of different options, but we can use basically a non-profit. We can use a non-profit. Let's say a non-profit, okay? It's a non-profit. So it would ask you for the industry that you're setting up this company file for. Business type. Again, we're going to select non-profit. Okay, this at the beginning, once you set this up for the very first time, you don't have to do it again, but I'm only showing you this as to how to go about setting up your company file or your club account. After this, you won't have to ever use this again, set up this process. And it's going to ask, it asks you for admin email. Okay, so let's do your email. What's the name of the email for Artistic Club, Toastmaster Johnny?
Platinum.artistic.
Platinum.artistic.
No, that spelling is wrong. P-L-A-T-I.
Yes.
Platinum.
P-L-T-I.
P-L-A-T-I-N-U-M.
Let me go back. P-L-A.
T-I, take off the N.
Right. T-I.
N-U-M.
N-U-M. So up here is wrong too.
Right, there you go.
P-L-A.
We've learned the first way on how to correct it.
T-I. Oh boy. T-I-N-U-M. Platinum. Okay.
Missing the I now.
I,
No,
it's missing.
all the time. You're at the top. P-L-A-T-I.
Oh, T-I. Right. Okay. All right, let's go back here. P-L-A-T-I-N-U-M. Dot.
Artistic, A-R-T-I-S-T-I-C.
A-R-T-I-S.
T-I-C.
C-I-C?
T-I-C.
T-I-C.
At gmail.com.
Right, at gmail.com. Okay, great. So the identification number, optional, but we can put in a phone number. Let's put in a phone number. Area code? You're muted.
You can use mine, 876.
876.
320.
330.
320.
320.
64.
64.
87.
87. And you could appreciate why it is asking you for this information, because if you're setting up your club information to capture your accounting information, it is important that it embodies all of your contact details and the nature of your club. Okay, business address.
All right, let me get the exact address, because I'm going to think that the important part of this is that we have to have what would be on the Toastmasters website, or what we are registered on the Toastmasters as, correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
All right.
That is correct. Okay, so your business address.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Or you, I mean, we could use anything, you know, as well too, you know, because it's just
anything for a demonstration.
That's right.
There you go. We can put anything for a demonstration. Kingston 6.
Give me something. Give me something.
19 something road.
19 something road. 19 something road.
And you know what? The city is, this is a test.
Yes,
Yes, this is a test.
this is a test.
This is a test.
Okay. Oh, that's oh, that was for the city. Okay. Okay. Paperback City. Zip code.
What do you do if you don't have one though? Because I don't think Jamaica or the other Caribbean islands have a zip code.
Yeah, we have zip code in St. Vincent, but if you don't have a zip code, some people will just put zeros, 4 zeros,
5
4
zeros.
zeros. Yeah. Okay. And in the case of, because this QuickBooks accounting software is from the US, it would usually ask you for a US state. But to bypass that, what you would do is that you would say other. You would choose other. Click on the drop down key and choose other. So then you won't have to provide a state. Okay? And then it now says, so we have all the relevant information to set up our Platinum Artistic Toastmasters Club data. And we're now going to say create company file. Create company file, where it is going to now take us to the home page of the QuickBooks software that we can start working and entering our sales into the system. So remember, when you're setting up your company file for the very first time, or your club company file for the very first time, that you should have your business name. Because we are non-profit, we selected non-profit. We could have been a sole trader business, or we could have been a limited company business. But based on what we are, you would select based on what type of business you are. Then the business type, email address, the contact information, your address, your zip code, and we are good to go. So we're now going to say at the bottom right of the screen, we're now going to say create company, or create your Toastmasters Club company file. Okay, so as you see, it is now at 50%. It is now creating the company file so that we can start working. So please make sure that you write down all these steps. So if you were to go and start up your own company file, you at least have some idea as to how to go about starting the company file. I was going to start from just entering sales into the system, but I just figure I should give this little tidbit as to how to go about creating your QuickBooks company file. Okay, now we don't need all of this information, so we're going to say start working. Okay, start working.
Are you looking at a free QuickBooks, or are you having to pay for this program?
No, because I'm a certified QuickBooks consultant, I have access to all of a number of different types of QuickBooks software. So I pay an annual fee to the company.
Right, you do, but I'm talking about us plebs.
Well, you're gonna have to purchase. You'll actually have to purchase a QuickBooks company file or an installation from a legitimate provider, a QuickBooks Tutor, a consultant like myself. You can purchase an installation, a legitimate installation, or you can actually purchase your own QuickBooks software license, that is, and you can install it onto your computer. Or there's also the online version. There's also the online version where you can pick QuickBooks on a monthly basis via your debit or credit card, and you'll be able to log in using a username and an ID and start entering the information. But what I'm teaching you from here today is actually the desktop version. The desktop version.
Okay. So I ought not to torrent QuickBooks.
Not the...
I ought not to torrent QuickBooks, to steal it.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, they don't allow you to steal. You have to get it now from a legitimate provider. Yeah, it's going to be very hard for you to steal QuickBooks. They're very strong where security is concerned. Nonetheless, let's get into business. So what you're seeing before you is I'm not too sure if you can see at the very top though, the name of our Platinum Artistic Toastmasters Club. Are you seeing the company file name or the account name at the top, very top of the screen?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, great,
Yes.
great. And I'm not even supposed to go into all of this, but at the top up here,
Yes.
you have what you call the menu bar where it says file, edit, view, list, favorites, accountant, company. That is called the menu bar. And we have here, below all of this, we have here the home page. The home page, this is what you call your home page. And usually it connects all of the accounting rules, features, where you can say, for example, enter bills, pay bills, sales, make sales orders. But our focus this evening, Toastmasters, is not to get involved in all these other side distractions. Our focus here this evening is to enter sales into QuickBooks. So we are going to be focusing on this particular icon which says create sales receipt or create invoices. Create sales receipt is another word for cash sales. When you think about sales or income, there are two types of sales: cash sales and you have credit sales. Cash sales is where the person obviously would pay you their money one time for the service and then you enter it into cash sales. But there is also the credit sales where a person would engage your service or your item and they pay in terms. So because we want to be able to receive payment in terms from our Toastmasters members, we are going to focus here this evening on creating invoice, or in other words, giving them credit, and then we receive their payments so we can track their balances, okay? Because some Toastmasters, they cannot afford to pay the entire $90 all at once for the year. Some can, but some can't. So if it's a Toastmaster who wants to pay monthly, I want to be able to show you how you can track that in the system and track their balances rather than doing so manually and losing track of when last they paid and or how long or how many payments they made in a year and all these things. So we're going to go into what you call create invoice to track the credit sales, okay? And now I'm opening that icon. And this is where we are going to track our credit sales, track our Toastmasters members who wish to pay partially as they go along during the Toastmasters year. So this is the page. This is the page where we go to track our credit sales. So the first important step is for us to enter the member's name. We are going to enter the member's name. So our first member, let me see some of the members we have. The first one I'm seeing coming up here, Carol Baheri. Sorry for butchering your name, Carol, but Carol Baheri. Okay, so we're going to enter Carol Bahari as our first club member. And when I enter the name there, if I click anywhere outside in any of these boxes, QuickBooks is going to ask me a very important question. Do you want to quick add the name or do you want to set up the name? Now, for the very first time, I'm going to teach you how to set up the name. But generally, as we go along in this partial training, we're going to use quick add in the interest of time. But for this very first one, I'm going to show you what happens when you say set up. So when you say set up, it gives you the option to set up contact information for this particular customer or for this particular member. So for example, phone number, it asks us for the phone number of the member. Let's put in some fictitious information, 454563221, okay, for example. Then we will also want to put in maybe a mobile number, 526324178. We just say that. Then it will also ask for an email address, which is important. Okay, Carol carolgirl@gmail.com. Okay. And then the other thing that is important, it is going to ask you for her address. So Carol is living in St. Mark Street, Bermuda, Bermuda. Okay. And then we copy that address as well. If that address or domestic address is the same as our shipping address, we can copy it, right? We say copy and then say okay. Okay, and it copies it over there as well. But your shipping address can be different from your mailing address. Let me put it that way. It can be one of two separate things. And so this is where you're going to now add this information for Carol. This is where it asks you to set up the company information. It is very important. Every customer you enter into the system, that you enter their contact information, because QuickBooks is going to populate a phone list more or less at the end, or at any point in time. You can go to a phone directory, or whenever you enter Invoice, as you would see later on, the contact information for the customer would come up immediately, and it would come up right in your view so that you can get access to that information ASAP. Okay, so let's say okay to this. Let's say okay, so we have the name of the customer, which is Carol. Now, what is important? The invoice number is important, and the date of the transaction. Well, you know, at the end, for our Toastmasters, the Toastmasters year begin, I think, 1st of September. I'm subject to correction there, but let us say the 1st of September. I think you have to pay by the 31st. You have to, yes, 1st of September, you have to make your annual payment. Now, all of these information, like the terms and all those things, we're going to leave these things out in the interest of time. It's a lot of information if we have to go through it all. But what is important next is that we set up what we are going to, the service that we are going to sell to Carol, the member. And at Toastmasters, our service is basically membership fees. So we're going to have membership fees. We're going to try to set up membership fees for monthly members. We're going to set up semi-annual membership fees, and we're going to set up annual membership fees, and we're going to set up a club fee. So to set up an item, which means an item is anything that you sell, whether it be a service or a product. But to set up a service item to capture our membership fees, we are now going to go to item code. And we're going to click on our first row. There's going to be a drop-down arrow. We click on that drop-down arrow and we say add new. We say add new, okay? And when we say add new, it populates this window where it asks us to set up a new service. So we're going to say service, select service. Our item number, we're going to say, we're going to call it 100 because it gives you the option to number your services. And on the description, we're going to call this membership fees dash monthly. Right? So this one is for monthly. And I think our monthly membership fee may work out 90 divided by, let's see, 90 divided by, can somebody do me that calculation? Oh no, I can actually do it here. 90 divided by 12. $7.50 US per month. That is the rate. That is the rate for monthly membership fees. And now we're going to select an income account that is associated, that must be associated to this monthly membership fees whenever we sell on credit to a Toastmaster member. So we have income. Let me see what we have on the income here. Or we may have to create our own we may have to create our own income account. Let me do that quickly, right? Call this membership fees. Membership fees income. And then we say save and close. Okay. So well, what we just did there, we are setting up the membership fees so that we can sell this membership fee to the Toastmaster members. So we are at this point where we have our item number, we have our membership fees monthly, and we have our rate, and we have our membership fees account, income account, to capture all of our sales. And then we say, okay. So we are taken back to our create invoice window. And here we have it. We have just invoiced, or we are about to invoice Carol Bahari membership fees of $7.50 per month. Okay, this is if we were billing her and we were sending her invoice to her every month so that she can pay $7.50. Okay, and notice at the top where you can email or you can print hard copy and you can send her invoice to her. So this particular illustration is if we were billing Carol Bahari monthly and sending her invoice to her monthly. So we just billed her $7.50 per month US. Okay, so we're now going to say, if we say save and close, it will take us out. But we're now going to say save and new. Save and new. Let's say save and new. So it is going to give us a new invoice, create invoice window so that we can invoice our next Toastmaster member. So we say save and new, right? No, we don't want this, right? Okay, so untick email, right? Save and new, okay? So QuickBooks brings up a new invoice, a new blank invoice sheet so that we can bill our second Toastmaster member, okay? So our second Toastmaster member, let me look, Claudia Powell. We are going to bill Claudia Powell. Claudia Powell, is it okay to bill you? Is it okay to bill you? Are you going to renew Yeah, you're going to renew your membership fee, right?
Yes, I am.
And Claudia, you're going to be paying, instead of paying monthly, I am going to be billing you semi-annually. So you're going to be paid 45 US. I'm going to invoice you for 45 US, okay?
Okay.
C-L-A-U-D-I-A. Claudia Powell, P-O-W-E-L-L. Okay, so I click outside, and again, that question comes up. Do we want to set her up or quick add? No, you know how to set up a customer already, how to enter all the details. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to say quick add, and QuickBooks would automatically accept the name of the member. Quick add. Okay, so we don't have to go through all that long information entering that we did a little earlier. Now we have the name, the date of the invoice, we have the invoice number, okay, and now we are going to enter the item code. We have item code. If you notice now, we have item code for monthly membership fee, but we do not have an item code for semi-annual membership fees. So we're going to say add new so that we can create semi-annual membership fees item, okay? So we add, we say service once more. We're going to call this 101. The description is membership fees. Membership fees, but this time it is semi-annual. Semi-annual. And the rate for semi-annual is 45 US. And we're going to select an income account to associate this income with. We had it inside of here before, membership fees. Once I start typing it in, it is going to show up. membership fees income. So anytime membership fees income. And then there we have it. This is our second item, service item that we can sell to our Toastmasters members. So we say, okay. And now we have semi-annual membership fees being invoiced to Claudia Powell. Being invoiced to Claudia Powell. I will show you where all of this is going after I finish invoicing or creating credit invoices for these customers, for these members, okay? So that is our second, and you notice the invoice number changed. This one is invoice number 2. If you have a business and you have a manual invoice book, whatever the number is on your invoice, you're going to enter it here. But for the sake of our QuickBooks training here, we're using the invoice number that is generated by QuickBooks. So we are now going to enter our third invoice into the system. So we say save and new to get to a blank sheet so we can enter our third invoice into the system. And let me see, let me choose another name that we're going to use. Okay, so we're going to use, let me try to use short names. Jean Small. Jean Small, is it okay to invoice you for your annual membership fee? Jean Small, is it okay for me to invoice you? I guess Jean Small isn't hearing us. So we're gonna invoice Jean Small. You notice the date of the transaction is the 1st of the 9th. The invoice number is invoice number 3, because this is our third member that we are going to be invoicing, And as the previous 2, we need to set up an item code. After you finish setting up all of these item codes, they're going to be in the system where you don't need to be setting them up for future billings or invoicing. Okay, so this is a one-off. So we're gonna set up our third quick add. We have to enter Jean Small into the system, quick add. Then we're now going to set up our third item service, which is, we're gonna add this now, and we're gonna call this one 102. 102. 102, the description, monthly membership.
Yearly.
Oh yeah, wait, all right. Membership fees yearly, sorry. Ah man, I love when the students are paying attention. Membership fee yearly, okay? And yearly we know it's 90 US, 90 US, okay? And we're going to associate an income account with it, membership fee income. And then we say, why not seeing my, okay, let's move this up. And then we say, okay. Oops. What did I just do there? All right, we go back, share screen. Right, now we're going to say, okay. So now,
You're sharing your expertise. Let me share mine. What's blocking it at the top is the zoom bar. So pull down the box a bit, and then you'll be able to see, okay, because what you
right, I can put it to the bottom. Thank you, Johnny. Okay, so there we have it. We have an invoice. We have an invoice for Jean Small, and we are billing Jean Small on an annual basis, right? We are billing Jean Small annually. So now we can say save and new to create our final invoice, which we are going to do an invoice for club fees, because sometimes, you know, you need to charge a little to the member for club fees so that you can, these little club fees income can help pay your operational and administrative expenses. So it is important. We could have also charged, as a matter of fact, let me say save and new first. Let me say save and new. And let's go back to the previous, the very first invoice. So we're gonna use this arrow to the left, to the top left, and we're gonna go back to our very first invoice. And because we realized that one of the things we did not do is that we did not charge Carol any club fees. Okay, neither did we charge the other two persons, members. So we're going to charge them club fees. Say our club fees is five US. Okay, so we're gonna create, we have to create an item, a service item called club fees and charge it to each of our members. So let's go here now and create an item. We go by saying add new. You notice we have all three of the other items set up already, service items, because once you set it up for the very first time, after that, it's always going to be there. So we're going to say add new, and we're going to call this one service, yes. And we're going to call this one 10, I think it's 103, okay, right, okay. And then we're calling this, the description for it is club fees. Club fees, and our club fees is 5 US. 5 US. And we can create a new account for that. We're gonna create a new account called club fees, a new income account, club fees. So we can track all the monies for our club fees in its own income account. Okay, right. So we say, okay, club fees. So there we have it. So now we're going to send an invoice to Carol with her monthly membership fees and her club fees totaling $12.50. Okay, her monthly membership fee is $7.50, but club fee that goes to our club, that's the club's revenue. It's going to be added, and she's now going to be billed $12.50. So we go to our invoice number 2. You have changed the transaction. Do you want to save changes? Yes, because we added the club fees. We did not add it before. Also for Claudia Powell, we want to add our club fees. So we're going to go here, click on the second row, and we're going to select club fees, which is $5 US as well. And now Carol is owing $50, $45 for the semi-annual membership fee, and the $5 for the club fee, which is $50. And we go to our third invoice. Change the transaction. Do you want to save it? Yes. The third invoice for Jean Small, we also want to add our club fee. But just mean, oh boy, I think the club fee, yeah, the club fee should be annual.
Except the club fee should be back for 6 months or
yeah, that's right. That was
year,
not thinking.
so
Yeah, I was not thinking that.
Just about to ask.
right, so
We're going
6 would be $30.
I love how this class is so studious, right? So club fee for this one, all it's $5. Where quantity is, we can now put 12 because it's going to be for 12 months, okay? And you will notice 12 by $5, it goes to 60, okay? Making it a total of $150. So let's go previous again. Let's go previous so that we could go back to the semi-annual one. Yes, we want to make these changes. The semi-annual one, we should be billing her for 6 months. 6 months. So we type 6 in quantity, and QuickBooks calculate 6 by 5 per month, which is $30 per month. So now it is tabulated to be $75 for this customer, for this member, Claudia Powell, okay, for the 6 months. And now we're going to say save and close. I'm going to say save and close now because I want to show you now where the listing comes up, where it is showing all the members and what they are owing, So I'm going to say save and close. Save and close. Do you have made changes to this transaction? Yes, we want to save it. Okay. So now we are back to the home page, but I want to take you to the menu bar. Anything that happens to affect customers or members, right? We're going to go in the menu bar to customers. So we're going to select customer, and then we're going to go to an area called Customer Center. where it is going to list all of your members and the balances that they are owing. Okay, customer center. And so we can see here we have three members, Carol, Claudia, and Jean Small. Carol is owing $12.50 because we normally invoice her by the month. Claudia Powell is owing $75 because we normally invoice her semi-annually. And Jean Small is owing $150 because we usually invoice her annually. And you see why the information here, why it is so important from the very beginning when we set up Carol. Now, when we come to this list, we can see all of Carol's information right here at the fingertip. So we don't need to go to the phone book, or we don't need to go to any cell phone. All her contact information is here, so we can easily call her immediately and let her know, well, Carol, your bill is owing, or we can email her immediately because we had set up all of the information. But if you are lazy and you do not go about setting up the customer information at the outset, sometimes it can become very problematic when you're looking for customer information to make contact with the particular customer. So here we have the balances. Here we have the balances. So now we are at the point where these members or customers, they want to pay for their invoices. So they called us, they either paid cash or they want to pay whether by check or what have you. But the important point is they want to pay for their invoices. Okay, and we are now going to go and receive their payment. Now, we can receive their payment by going to the menu bar, customers, receive payments. Okay, or if you were at the home page area, there's an icon that says receive payments. We can click on this as well. So let's double click on that. As I said, you could have gone customer in the menu bar, receive payment. So the first customer is Carol. Well, yes, Carol. So once you bring up Carol's name, right? The system is going to show us invoice number 1. Carol is owing for invoice number 1. In the real field, sometimes you can have as many as so many invoices for this particular customer, but whichever invoice the customer is paying for, you are going to tick it off on the left-hand side here. So when we tick it off, if you do not enter an amount received, okay. Do you want it? Okay. I said no, right. So when we tick it off, the payment amount goes in as $12.50. Payment amount goes in as $12.50. So Carol is paying her full $12.50 US. We can also, the date when she makes the payment, well, she made the payment on the 30th of September, okay? And the reference number is, say, a receipt number. If you had a receipt number, let's say 125 is the receipt number. And we ticked off the invoice that Carol is paying for. And now, once we tick it off, let me just compare the screen is, okay. Let me see, not seeing the bottom of my screen, okay. Let's say, but I think it's this one, say, okay. The transaction, turn off this warning. Yes, we want to continue. Okay, so we received the payment of $12.50 for Carol. Now we're going to also we're going to go and receive payment for Claudia. Claudia Powell is paying, she is owing invoice number 2. She is owing $75. So again, we want to receive all of this money for Claudia. So we're going to enter, we can enter $75 here at the top as well. And once we enter the $75, the system automatically ticks it off because it assumes that we are going to be taking payment for this particular invoice. Okay, and then we reference number, she paid by check. which you notice this has changed by check. She paid by check. The check number is 89856. Okay, 89856. So she paid it off. And now we can easily say, oh boy. I'm just trying to move this so that I can get to see. We can receive the payment, accept the payment. Okay. So she no longer owes anything. Now, the final person is Jean Small. Final member is Jean Small. And mind you, one thing I did not notice, you notice every time I brought up a member's name who is owing, the balance would show up at the top right-hand corner. So Jean Small is owing $150. But Jean Small said to us, because of the economic factor, rising prices, global issues, and all these things, she can only pay us $100 for right now. So the treasurer decided to accept the $100. Okay, so we're going to be putting $100 inside of the amount payment, $100. And we decide to take the $100, but now we're going to have to take $100 against the invoice for Jean Small, which is 150 EC, right? So we take that. And QuickBooks asks us a question when finished. Do you leave this payment as an underpayment? Because obviously she's owing 150 and she is now paying 100. So they're asking you if it's an underpayment, so you can look forward to the monies in the future, or do you write off the $50 that she did not pay? Because it could have been a customer who decided they're only going to pay $100 and they're not going to be paying any more money because they're disgruntled. But in this case, we are going to accept the $100 and she's going to be owing $50 on her invoice. So again, let me just accept this. And now, if I click on the drop down arrow to any of these customers, if I click back on Carol, now at the top right hand corner, her balance is 0. If I click on Claudia, the top right hand corner, her balance is 0. If I click on Jean Small, the top right hand corner, her balance is $50. Okay, so again, it is calculating the maths for itself. And let us look at this from another angle. Let us look at this from another angle. You have not recorded the new transaction. Do you want to record it now? Yes. Oh, no. Okay, all right. Claire?
All right, so let me ask, in the case of Jean with this $50, right?
Yes.
You go back on there now, because on, say the next day, on the 1st of October, she has the $50 to pay.
Yes.
Do I just put that $50 in there then?
That is correct. But before I do that, I just wanted to go back to Customer Center to show you the balances there. Okay. So if you notice now, Customer Center, which gives a list of our members and their balances. Okay. Jean Small is the only one showing $50, right? Because we received the full monies from Carol, we received the full money from Claudia, and we received $100 from Jean Small. Now, suppose now I'm here and Jean sent in her $50 the next day. I can also I can click on Jean Small, okay, where it turns green. Then I right click the mouse. I right click the mouse and go to receive payments. Okay, and when I say receive payments, it is going to take me to that same customer payment window. And you notice it already brought Jean Small information up here. Okay, so now Jean Small is balancing $50. She's balancing $50 here. Customer balance is $50. If you notice, the original invoice was $150, but amount due is $50. So Jean paid that $50. So we're going to go now and we're going to enter $50. And then we're going to take that invoice. So now, after we do that, the balance for Jean Small is going to be 0. She paid by check. Important to enter the check number for audit purposes and audit trail 45781. And then we accept that payment. Save and new. Yes, it's saying save and new now. So save and new to accept, or save and close to go out. Save and close. Right? So now we're back to customer center. You notice now Jean Small is owing nothing. Jean Small is owing nothing. So we would have just received all those monies from Jean Small. Are we looking on time here? How much more time do I have? Because I want to.
We have about 15 minutes. However, our next trainer is on, so you can ask her if she can afford you a little bit more time, if she would be okay with extending her session and if everybody would want to stay.
Yeah. So I just wanted though, was to remember at the beginning, I mentioned to you, let me go back to homepage. I mentioned to you, if you're going to be tracking your members or your customers, giving them credit, taking payments, you go through the route of create invoices. However, a member may just come with their cash right away and they just want to pay for their membership fee. So in a case like that, you don't have to be tracking the invoice and tracking payments and all of that. You can go straight to cash sale, which is to create sales receipt. QuickBooks refers to cash sale as create sales receipt. There are customers who would pick us. So we click on create sales receipt to enter a cash sale. Remember the difference between cash and credit. Cash sale, they're paying cash upfront, money in the pocket right away, or money in the bank account right away. But for credit sales, you're extending them, giving them time to pay. So in this case, they're paying up immediately. We're now going to say, let's do an example of a cash sale. So a cash sale, let me see another member on our call. Let's use DTM Fabiola as we are intruding. Well, we're not intruding as yet, but she's going to be so gracious as to give us some extra time, right? DTM Fabiola, we're going to enter Fabiola Cleofa. Fabiola. Okay. And we click outside and we're going to say quick add. Let's quick add her. We quick add her. And now it takes us basically to the item, and we are going to select any one of these items. Let's say the person is paying up her annual membership fee. We select her annual membership fee, which is 90 US. And she's also paying up, this person is also paying up for their, DTM Fabulous is also paying up because she has a lot of money for her club fees one time, right? And the quantity is 12, which is 60. So in this case, you notice that we're invoicing DTM Fabiola her annual fees, yearly annual fee, and her club fees, just $60 for the year, and we're invoicing her $150. And she would have given us that cash or that check. Okay, so that is where we're going to go and invoice her. So we say, in this case, we're gonna say save. Let's save this information. Okay, so we just enter the cash sale into the system. Now, the next interesting point is that these monies that we received from the credit sales and the money that we just received from DTM Fabiola for her annual cash sale or cash paying up for her cash membership for the year, where is it? Where is it? And how do we get access to it to deposit these monies? Because the next thing, you don't want to be holding up the members' monies. You want to go and deposit these monies directly to a bank account. Okay, so to find where these monies are, we're gonna have to go to an account called undeposited funds. But to find that account, you're going to go to banking in the menu, banking, make deposit, banking, make deposit, right? In order for you to make a deposit, you need to have a valid bank account. Would you like to create one now? Yes, let's create one now. Okay, a bank account, which makes sense. And we're gonna call this RBTT bank account. If you have like your bank account number, your routing number, and all those things, you enter them inside of there. But for the sake of this training and the interest of time, we don't need all of that information. So we say save and close. So immediately, a window comes up showing all of the monies that we collected from our members that we need to go and deposit. Correct? So those that are called PMT, those are the monies that we received when we credited the member and we received the monies in part payment or in future payments. The RCPT is the cash transaction that we receive from DTM Fabiola, right? It's all here. So we need to go and deposit our monies because it is important that when you collect monies, you deposit the monies intact. Do not hold up the club members' money or this. Don't get tempted and say you're gonna borrow $10 or you're gonna borrow $20. Go and deposit the people's money to the bank account. So what we can do here is that we can say, select all, select all. There's a button that says select all at the bottom, right? And it is going to take all of the monies that we have here to be deposited, totaling $387.50, right? However, it can be a case where we want to go and deposit some of the monies to one bank account and the others, the remainder, to another bank account. So in a case like that, we would just manually tick those transactions that we're going to deposit to our first account. But in the interest of time, we want to deposit all the monies to one account. So we're going to tick the other two as well, right? And the total amount of monies we have here to deposit is $387.50. Now, we're now going to say now, where is it? Let's go up, let's take this up a little. $387.50, and we say, okay. So we've selected what we want to go and deposit, and we say, okay. And it takes us to the deposit slip, to the deposit account of RBTT, and gives the breakdown, $387.50. And we're now going to deposit this money. This is the deposit sheet where you're going to make the deposit. We have the bank account, we have the date of the deposit, we have the breakdown of all the transactions that make up this deposit so that we can always go back to it at any point in time. So we say save and close. We say save and close, and that is going to record the deposit. Okay? Now, so there we have it. We made that deposit. I just want to show you now. I just want to sidetrack a little to show you the money in the bank account, to show you the money in the bank account. So to get access to your bank account, there's an item in the menu bar called list. And we're going to go to list, chart of accounts, which lists all of our bank accounts. List, chart of accounts. And when we list chart of accounts, we're going to see our RBTT bank account, and our RBTT bank account contains $387.50, which is the total sum of all the monies we collected for our cash sales and all the monies we collected from our credit sales and receive payments from our credit sales. Now, suppose I want to see, or we want to see the details of this. Let us right click this particular transaction and go to quick report. And if we do that, it is going to show us in our bank account, there's a deposit that was made of $387.50. And if we want to go even further, we double click on the $387.50, and this is going to bring back up the details of the deposit. So we can see exactly how much or who all contributed to this $387.50. So we have about 2 more minutes. So there you have it. There's so many other areas we could speak about, but I think when it comes to sales and entering sales into QuickBooks, I think I would have given you sufficient information so that you can now enter your sales and your membership fees into QuickBooks. You can set up a QuickBooks company file for your Toastmasters Club. You can enter a customer into the system. You can enter a credit sale into the system. You can receive payment. You can enter a cash sale into the system, and you can make your deposit, as well as you can view your bank account. I hope that I would have given you a mouthful in this short period of time, and this information would have certainly satisfied your appetite. Thank you very much, Toastmasters, for being heirs to this presentation, and I pray and trust that it was helpful to you. Thank you very much.